Man. Man. I tell y'all what, I'm not really, I'm in the middle of a workout. But I can't help but to get a good laugh out of y'all with this one. I can't help it. I must laugh at y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. This is about how y'all look. If y'all want to know, how y'all look. When I put up a damn video of a dog with the worst rear in the history of mankind, a dog that has a terrible stifles, cowhawked. If y'all want to know how y'all look when y'all talk about a dog that had a bad heart, when y'all want to talk about a dog whose rear was literally higher than his head, a dog that produced 3,500 puppies, and can't none of y'all who proclaim that this dog is the greatest dog of all time can't even name me 50 dogs. This is how y'all look. So if we going to be ignorant, I'm just going to be all the way ignorant. Y'all, man, I ain't button my shit up. Because I tell y'all one damn thing. If we just going to be ignorant, let's be all the way ignorant. Y'all some of the dumbest son of bitches I ever seen in my life. I don't care who get mad. Let me button my shit. I don't care who get mad. The simple fact, if y'all ever wanted to know why this community is considered to be the world, y'all to piss my damn baby off. Y'all, hey, it's all right. It's all right, Puddin'. It's okay. It's okay. No, they don't know no better. She heard about y'all talking about the dumbass dog talking about the greatest of all, and she got pissed off. Y'all to piss the baby off. Now, realistically, I'm here to explain to y'all why the bully community is looked at like this. Everybody should get them one of these hats or some shit like this, because this is why y'all look so stupid. If we gonna be stupid, we gonna be just stupid, and we gonna all be stupid together. I put up the video for one good reason. It was almost like a social experiment. I couldn't think of no dog that was more popular, that was a better train wreck. So I said, look, well, let me put up one of Dax. Now, what's going on? I'm acting up, Jose. So I'm just going to tell you like this, man. I put up the video of Dax because I knew it would get the party going. And I started this thing. It was in the middle of my workout. I couldn't even help it because the level of silliness and stupidity just took me all the way there. You know what I mean? You hear somebody get to talking about great dog and this, that, and the other. This is exactly why the American bully community is considered to be the worst and most ignorant son of a bitches in the face of the earth. Nowhere else in the community can you put up a dog with a rear that's higher than his head, straight stiff stifles, a long back, cowhawked, and that was just in the video, and we know for a fact that the dog fell out trying to get him some nanas. We know that the dog died trying to get some nanas. And then he's one of the greatest of all time. This is why y'all stupid. This is why y'all believe people like Dave Wilson when they tell y'all that a breed is supposed to be evolving. Ain't no damn breed supposed to change every year, but guess what? Y'all believe it. Y'all believe any damn thing these folks tell y'all. This is for real how y'all look to the rest of the world. Yes, I buttoned my shit. I buttoned it up tight too. The simple fact that this community, y'all go look at the video that I put up with Dax. This is a community that hails this dog that could barely move, that is obviously a train wreck. This is what y'all did. So since we gonna do Halloween, we just gonna do Halloween all the way through. We gonna do Halloween all the way through. I mean, honestly, let me take my goggles off. It was sort of hot in there. But honestly, man, when you think of this is the most incredible thing ever. Yeah, my shit's stylish. I can put that up on top of my head. I fight with this stuff all the time, And the reason why I fight with this stuff all the time is because y'all don't have to do what I have to do. I have to talk to real dog people. I have to convince real dog people that we're a serious community. I have to you stop it, Jessica. You know you want one of these hats. Yeah, I was trying to find. A mask too. You know, I was trying to get my mask. I ain't got no mask. They bought all the masks, but I was. But I tell y'all, this is why this community can't be taken seriously. You know, nowhere else is a community that's supposed to be about show dogs can look at a video of that dog that I put up, no matter how popular he is, and try to be defensible about that. The same video, several of my medical friends watched that video of Dax and were appalled by it. You know, one doctor talked about the immense amount of pain that he probably spent most of his life in because the crazy amount of stress that would have been on the spinal cord and caused a lot of neurological issues. Also, the immense amount of stress. If you look at the video, you'll see that in the back of the dog's legs, Dax's legs curved inwards. That was an immense amount of stress, not only on the hip, but also on the knee. Now, when you talk about the rear being high, it's obvious that the dog has the straight stifles, which limits the movement in the joints. The dog probably, by the time he died, which was at I think he was around 5 or 6 years old when he died. But we're not even going to go into his cardiovascular issues at this moment. Over that 5-year span, this dog that you're looking at in the video, by all accounts, and y'all can take this to your veterinarian and he'll tell you the same thing. Remember, I did do quite a few years in medical school. The video of Dax, I can point out these things and y'all look at it. With the curvature of the back legs, with the curvature of the back legs, for one, which is cowhawked, one thing for sure, severely cowhawked, it's a crazy amount of stress, not only on the ankle joint, because the ankle is not meant to bend. It's not meant to bend. It's meant to be straight up and down. So that means that there's a lot of extra pressure on the ankle joint. What's going on, Drew? Trying to get life together, brother. Now, the knee is not meant to be bent. This is why if you have a baby, and unfortunately, if you have a baby and your baby is bow-legged, like, some of the people in my family that runs in them with a bow-legged, that they want to make sure that they can find a way to fix it. Because if not, throughout life, it's going to hurt a little bit. You've got a higher chance of having arthritis. You got a higher chance of having bad knees. You damn near, you know what I mean? It's a lot of issues there. The hips take extra issues. So I'm pointing out all the things that you'll see from this super dog Dax in one thing. Now, the one thing that most dog people don't ever account for, and you can see just the structural issue with the rear end being that high, and literally his back is at a downward slope like this. Let's be better. Let's take the safeguard tube. And his back is sloping down at about this angle. And I'm not exaggerating it. From his ass being here to his shoulders being here, his back is slanting down like that. What happens, for those who don't know, when the back slants down like that, is that it causes a crazy amount of stress on the spinal cord. The spinal cord is not meant to have, for a dog, is not meant to have any kind of torque coming either way on it. The spinal cord is not supposed to be compressed any kind of way. These movements are it's not supposed to be that in a natural form. So when the movement starts, it's an extra amount of torque on the spinal cord, which generally will cause neurological issues. Those neurological issues can transfer to anywhere in the body, from the heart to wherever, because things are not clicking like they're supposed to. And long-term health, it can cause many different health issues. It can start causing psychological issues. It can start causing all kind of things. So I'm telling y'all, and I made this to make a point, but honestly, yeah, I put my crazy hat on, but this is how y'all look every day. If you go in front of a crew of real dog people, if you go in front of a crew of real educated dog people, and you see that dog, and you start talking about how great that dog is, this is how you look to the rest of the world. This is how you look to the rest of the world. You look like a fucking crash dummy. I don't care who really gets upset, because this is factual. The American bully community has to get to a point where we accept the fact that what is being done in this community is a joke. It's not about your opinion. It's not about what lies people want to tell you. It's not about accepting bad shit. The dog itself, if we are talking about being pretty much in the whole world of dogs, I'm not talking about just American bullies. You cannot have a dog whose back angles down at that kind of rate. You cannot have a dog that can't walk very well. You cannot have a dog that dies trying to do a breeding and you talk about the greatest job of all, the greatest dog of all time. You sound like a fucking idiot. To go even further into this shit, then y'all claim that great producer, great producer. Let me explain something to you. And I've told y'all this quite a few times. My specialty was in numbers. And we will break some numbers down for you. Y'all keep talking about great producer, great producer, great producer, great producer. Anywhere in the world, in order to be a great producer, it's not about numbers, it's about percentages. Because like they say, if a fool does anything enough times, one of those times he'll get lucky. So it's not, that's what doesn't make you great. Trust and believe. I've hit the same shots that Michael Jordan has hit. The difference is Michael Jordan hits them at a high percentage. Mine's weren't that high. You know what I mean? I've hit the same 3-pointers that Steph Curry hits. But guess what? Steph Curry hits that shit damn near every time. I don't hit it every time. That's why he makes $40 million a year and I don't get paid to play basketball. If you are playing baseball and you hit the ball 1 out of every 3 times, you are considered a very, very good hitter. 1 out of 3 times. Now, if you turn around in baseball and you hit the ball 1 out of 10 times, you will not have a job for very long. And I know that doesn't sound like that big of a disparagement, but guess what? 3 to 1 out of 10 is it's a difference in hundreds of millions of dollars in baseball. So let's take on Dax. As far as champions, I don't know the exact number, but I do know that he does not have over 25 championship offspring, period. With that being said, let's be generous. Let's give the dog 50. Let's give the dog 50 champions. 50. Denzel has more than that, by the way. But let's get a dog 50 champions. Now, if you give this dog 50 championship dogs throughout the bully world, 50, he's produced we know this for a fact, over 3,500 puppies. So, okay, this will make mathematics simple because I don't want to go over everybody's head. Some of y'all just don't do good math. So we'll take the 0 off the 50 and we'll make that a 5. We'll take the 0 off the 3,500 and we'll make that 350. That means that's 5 out of 350. Now, if we're going to divide that, then we'll take it down and we'll take that 350 to 70. We'll take the 5 to 1. That means 1 out of 70, he produced a championship dog. That's with us being generous. 1 out of 70, I tell you what, there is nothing in the world that you can do that if you do it 1 out of 70 times that you are good, and there's definitely nothing 1 out of 70 that you would be great doing. Don't tell him nothing, Anthony. We don't even want to bring up the fact that how many of the kids died. Now you talking about, that's coffee? Shit, thank you. Thank you. Now they bring me some coffee, so I'm really about to start cussing this shit. But this is the truth. We're talking about 1 out of 70, and he doesn't have 50 champions. So it's probably realistically more like 1 out of 100. So where do you get at? Imagine if you tried to get you some sexual relations, and you only got it 1 out of every 100 times. Would that be good to you? Would you be happy if you called your woman or your husband and he only came home 1 out of every 3.3 months and gave you some good shit? Would you be happy with that percentage? But somehow we're happy with that percentage with the greatest of all times. Not to mention that most of these dogs have high rears. Not to mention that the best Dax kids, besides Lucky Luciano, died before they were 5 years old. What are we saying here? You cannot be a great producer if every 1 out of 100 puppies, and I'm going to be realistic because that's closer to the percentages, 1 out of every 100 puppies was good enough to win a championship. Now, if y'all want to talk greatest of all times, and I've even challenged this to the most, Dax is the greatest. He's a great producer. I love him. He was a tool. And first of all, you don't put bad genetics in anything. Oh, you damn right I wish my woman would try to hold out for 3 point. Please. It'd be some smoke in the city. It'd be some smoke in the city. If I had to wait every 3 months to get a little bit freaky, it'd be some smoke in the city. But you think about this. Anywhere in the world, those are bad percentage. You're talking about 1%. Now, think about this. We all do this dog thing. That's why y'all here. If we talking about this, 3,500 puppies, I guarantee you not many of anybody on here can name 50. Let's just lower it. Let's name 25 great Dax dogs. 25. Let's go 20. You damn right, Henry. It'd be divorce time if we was doing it every three and a half months. Whew. It's senior citizens that's getting down way better than that. You know them senior citizen homes, they say they got the most STDs. They getting freaky up in there. They doing better. But anyway, look, this is what I'm telling y'all. It's not to hate, it's to bring levity to a situation. We have been immersed in a society of mediocrity. And I'm not just picking on Dax, but he's my great example because y'all call him the greatest. We are, what's going on, Nikki? We are immersed in a society of mediocrity. There have been plenty of great dogs along the way that deserve way more credit than this dog. Our community decided to take one of the worst examples of a dog that didn't fit the breed characteristics, that didn't fit what the breed was supposed to be, had pretty much disqualifying flaws. That rear end is disqualifying. That high rear is disqualifying. And not to mention, you can't hear it on the video, but a lot of times he had trouble breathing, henceforth the reason why you die during a breeding. And not we, but some people in this community campaigned this as the greatest dog of all times. That would be like, saying that I was the greatest basketball player of all time and negating Michael Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, Kareem, Oscar Robertson, Wilt Chamberlain, all these guys. Just make me the greatest. Now, don't get me wrong. I did drop 50 in high school. But that was high school. Everybody was under 6'3". It was, I don't think I would have scored that 50 if I was in the NBA. But, this is what we're doing, and we have to understand this as our community grows. TBKC, I can only speak for us, we have an open class now. That is inviting every breed that we have, and you'll see when the new site comes. Well, it's not a new site, it's a revamp of the site. But once the site is revamped, the open class, what this does is we're very much, and I'm pushing, we have now 3 people, and I got to talk to my guy Max, who's been supporting me. He probably will be our 4th, but we're going to have a crew of probably 5 to 6 people who their whole job is just to promote shows. That doesn't mean that other people can't promote shows, but they're going to have the support of the registry and the sponsors to go out and just make shows happen. So we have these shows all over the world. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Adrian Gonzalez, you can't even give me a reason why Dax is the greatest. Besides opinion. And y'all know what opinion is. Shit, opinion, that's just like assumptions. You're going to make an ass out of yourself, and at the end of the day, opinions is like asses. Everybody got one, and they all damn stink. And the truth of the matter is, when it comes down to it, can't nobody give me one solid reason why Dax would even be considered to be in the top 25 American bullies. If we're going by true what the dog is supposed to be and what the dog is supposed to do, if you can't give a good reason why this dog would ever be considered a great dog. You can't. We judge everything else on a regular scale of somewhere or another, whether we're right or whether we're wrong. But with our dogs, we accept the lowest of low always. That's why you have exotics. That's why you have all of the nonsense that we have going on in here. And the saddest part is we haven't had good leadership. That's partly my fault also. We haven't had good leadership, because if we had good leadership, the dogs that have been banned would have stayed banned, and we wouldn't be allowing dogs with these issues to even be bred. Their paperwork would be pulled like the UKC and the AKC does to protect their breeds. What we have is people pushing very, very, very sorry dogs and making excuses. And at the top and at the bottom of all this, we're supposed to be blind. We're supposed to act as if we don't see anything. We supposed to act as if we don't see. My cup say love, but it ain't no love. I mean, and this is, I make my jokes and I have a good time, but the truth of the matter is if we being realistic, would you take a dog that looked like Dax to a serious dog show? Could you imagine in any breed if a dog had that kind of conformation and they walked it into an AKC show? What do you think is going to happen? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. It's a lie that old Dave Wilson got kicked out of a show. That wasn't even him. He just wanted to be about that. You know what I mean? You know what, Brian Ruiz? I'm not stressed. I'm not worried about everybody else. I'm worried about a community that I help establish and I have a true passion for, and that seems to be pimped out by people who would rather breed dogs that are flawed up, going to have short lifespans and destroying the reputation of our breed worldwide so that they can make a down payment on their Escalade. That's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about everybody else. I'm one of the only people in this community that actually worries about the dogs and the respect that our breed will get worldwide, instead of being looked at as a trash breed and these people who think it's a quick way to make money, meanwhile while they're filling up all the cages at the Humane Society and have no conscience of it. I'm just a conscience in this community, and sometimes when your conscience speaks to you, it's hard to hear it. You'd rather keep doing wrong instead of look at what's right in life. And what's right in life is the constant promotion of overbreeding and not breeding good, healthy dogs that will live and make our breed better is the reason why our breed is considered to be the trashiest breed in the face of the earth right now. I'm not worried about everybody else. I'm worried about the American bully, unlike people who go out there and breed these crazy dogs. You know? Oh, something's going to change. Believe that. Something's going to change. We often believe that because people have been in power and done the wrong thing for so long that it's never going to change. But in order for things to change, somebody has to step up and people have to start making their voice heard to create a change, not just go along with the disillusioned system that keeps on running us into the ground and telling us lies like our dogs should change every week to fit whatever is going to be popular, and you should have to be in certain cliques for your dogs to even be able to win. Something has to change, and the reason why things haven't changed is because a lot of people are scared to speak their voice. They'd rather go in there, and instead of now being able to compete fairly at a dog show, what they will do is they will go to a dog show and they say, you know what, now I guess I better go ahead and pay those handlers that's winning all the shows, and I better go ahead and buy my dog from this dude, even though I know my dog probably don't have a proper pedigree, and my dog probably is not the best dog in the ring. My dog will probably be flawed up, but if I want to win, I got to be a part of this disillusioned system and pay the $1,500 that this guy is asking me for to get my dog just a trophy. We pimping ourselves out for trophies, popularity, and a chance to buy an Escalade instead of caring about the dogs that we beat our chest and say we love. People in this community don't love these dogs. They love themselves, and they love the glorification that comes from themselves, and the whole while you step on the dog's neck to get that little bit of satisfaction, which means absolutely nothing if you're a true dog man. A true dog man bases their foundations off of quality and productions, and ain't too many people in this community producing quality dogs. It's just that simple. Very few people in this community is producing quality dogs. Very few people in this community feel comfortable letting their dog out to play in the sun. Very few people in this community would sell a dog with a money-back guarantee that dog is going to last at least 5 years. Very few people in this community, when they alone in their room at nighttime and they got to face themselves in the mirror, can seriously sit there and look at the dogs that they've been producing and say that that's a quality animal. But on the internet, everything is true because anything can happen on the internet. Hell, you let me tell it, I'm the finest motherfucker on the face of the earth. Hey, it's on the internet. Somebody will agree. That's all it got to be. That's all it got to be. What's going on, Chewy? And Bobo, don't you worry about my hat. I was in the middle of a rant. I'm going to send you one of these. You need one of these in Chi-Town. I know how y'all win get. I ain't coming to that bitch to winner no more neither. But there you go. There you go. This will get you all the way to where you need to be. Especially if you're going to any of them damn Chicago Bears games. If y'all don't get rid of Mitchell Trubisky, this might protect your eyes from when y'all be throwing them damn beers and shit. But but this is how we look to the world. You know, I've talked to sponsors. I've talked to sponsors from Victor. If y'all was at the Jersey show, my man got Victor to come out to the show, and Victor will be at a lot of our shows. I've gotten people from different health food companies and different things that are going to be looking into coming in and doing sponsorships, not only on the website, but for shows and giving us a lot of free things. And the one concern that they have is the way that this community conducts itself. Nobody, trust me, whether you're a sports mix, whether you're Ukanuba, whether you're Diamonds, these people pride themselves on having very, very, very nice things. Oh, I ordered my bomber jacket, but they sent it in an extra large, so I couldn't get into it. I needed at least that 2X. You know what I mean? Yeah, Trubinsky, they should have waited and got Cam, but they traded for Foles. So the Bears defense so good, all they need is one damn person who can be functional. At least they defense so good, they turned into a Super Bowl team with an average quarterback. But you know, we have to do better. Yeah, I talk a lot of shit, but it's about being accountable, man. You know, my family is blessed to be getting a great, you know what I mean, Serbian Rottweiler here very soon, and I've been dibbling dabbling in that community. I deal with Croatia and I deal with Serbia a lot with the Dobermans and different things like that. And the best part about it is that hey Derek, we have a phone app coming up. Yeah, it's you know, we needed to focus on what we really needed to be focused on. You know what I mean? Well, you know, Brian, that's why I said. First of all, Derek, yeah, the phone app, we will have the phone app no later than the fall. We got to let the guys complete the website. We wanted a total overhaul on the website. Not a new one, but it's a total overhaul to make everybody's paperwork come. You can do everything in one thing. It comes to us. We print it straight out, get it to you. We'll have the YouTube channel integrated into the website. You'll have a lot of different things into the website, which, you know, it was worth us to spend the extra money to do that, to get things to go, because we got a podcast coming up where we're going to be on the road at every show. You know, whether it's Skip Miller, whether you see my man Jose Barone on there, or whoever, Danny. You know, we're going to, Oscar Gomez is coming out to do some shows with us, and we're going to do some shows with the WBA. And I mean, you know, probably get Memo Loco on there, but we're going to get a lot of people who's serious about these dogs. And we wanted to have a website that was up to that, you know. I openly admit I made a lot of mistakes early. And that's where it goes, Brian, is that one of the reasons that our community hasn't changed is nobody is taking the bull by the horn, so to speak. You know, nobody is, no, man, Larry, go Bucks. But nobody has given a platform to people who care about the dogs and who want to do things the right way to be able to come out and show their dogs and do things the right way. Most people who breed really clean dogs and nice dogs to the standard and are trying to do it in a show dog type of way. That's why the ABKC shows are getting so small, because they don't feel welcome there. Most people feel like you have to pay somebody, you have to be a part of a clique, you have to have, you know, a dog from this person, or, you know, or this terrible breeder or that terrible breeder. You have to be a part of a clique to actually get a win over there. And a lot of people get tired of seeing the same people win week after week, see dogs with high rears win week after week. I mean, my man down here in Texas, that became a big issue, and he didn't make a big issue about it because he's a classy guy. But you know what I mean? He had his dog at Nationals, and you can see a picture of a dog that had terrible front legs, and they let that dog win and robbed his dog. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, it comes down to the fact that we have to create an environment that's conducive to change. Right now, this environment is not conducive to change, because where's all the good breeders gonna go? Where's the people who don't want to be a part of the society of paying in and breeding fucked up dogs? Where do they go to show their dogs? Where do they go to get some respect at? Where do they go to you know, that they keep the game fair, and you DNA test every dog, and people are not refusing to DNA test dogs, and we know what we're dealing with, and it's a fair playing field? Where do those people who want to do that, where do they go? That's why we haven't seen a change, and that's my fault. I apologize. Hopefully the sound didn't go out. Somebody's calling in. But you know, we have to do better. It's just that simple. You know, our whole entire community has to do better. Some people. But you know, our community has to do better, you know, as a whole. You know, great breeders will not show under these conditions. I know many of great breeders who just simply don't go to the ABKC. You've seen one or two great breeders now that went off to start their own whole registries, even when they were, because they got tired of seeing the wrong thing done. You know, those of us who have been around were irate when you allowed the Miyagi blood to come and show in our rings, after we openly knew that this was French Bulldog blood. You know, was irate when you allowed the bullseye stuff to come in there when it was openly known that this was English Bulldog. Was irate when you had, you know, the puppy miller who mistreats his dogs in and out of the ring with his train wreck dogs and breaking every rule, and allowing good people who come work hard for their money to come and show good dogs to be treated like shit. That's it. Things won't change until we are able to create a playing field that's conducive to good breeders and people who love dogs. Right now, I'm just being real. I don't care how they take it or whatever. Can't nobody convince me that them clowns over there love their dogs. You know, can't nobody tell me you love the dogs, because you know what I mean. I mean, I ain't stereotyping about no exotic community. Exotic community put out their own reputation. We go back to numbers. And I don't know what the numbers is. I can't give you the numbers like Dax, but the exotic community has created their own issue. You know what I mean? The exotic community is the community that allowed these people to come in there with those dogs that could barely move, and the crooked legs and the tongues hanging out the side of their mouths and the rears high up, and we see tables of them. We see guys grabbing dogs by their faces and by their rib cages and snatching them off the table and bragging about $5,000. We see dogs that are being advertised for $10,000 studs that when you put them on the table, the dog falls over because he can't even stand because his elbows are so traumatized. We see dogs that can't live 18 months. We see breedings with dogs that are under a year. The exotic community has created their own situation. I didn't stereotype the exotic community. They've done a very, very good job of making their community trash. Now, do I respect certain people in the exotic community who are wanting a change and pushing for a change? Absolutely, and I wish them the best. But I didn't stereotype the exotic community at all. Before I made a shirt that said "fuck exotic," they had already fucked themselves. That is obviously Down syndrome, heavily bred into that community. It's obviously a lot of dogs that are deformed that shouldn't be bred. There's a lot of issues going on that are not being addressed, and all we hear about is how much money people are making off of these dogs instead of the health and the well-being of the animal. So anybody who are true animal lovers, when you see a situation that dogs are being bred into a situation where they're guaranteed a lifetime of pain and suffering, but then you see the man who is breeding them brag about the profits that he's making off of them, we look at that community as some scumbag motherfuckers, and they deserve to be looked at that way until you change it and push health and good dogs and great conformation. I didn't do that. If I had ever created an exotic, then I would probably be a part of that. But my dogs would never fit into an exotic type of lifestyle because my dogs got to live. You know? I mean, and that's it. You know, but it's not every breed. Don't do that. See, that's what I'm saying. We take a situation down when we don't look at it for what it is and look at it in clarity. The exotic situation is like the people on My 600 Pound Life. You know, their situation is dire. You know, when you 700 pounds and you 5'2", and the little Dr. No is telling you, you have to stop eating. You're going to die. You have to stop. That's the difference between the guy who's 6'2" and 300 pounds. You know, he might need to lose a little weight, but he ain't in that situation as that 700 pounder that's 2 burgers away from the extra large casket. He's not dated. That's a different situation. The exotic is the worst bred dog in the history of dog breeding. I study dogs. I study dogs from the Clumber Spaniel, the Pharaoh Hounds. You know, you go back to, man, I study some dogs. I ain't gonna name all these dogs, whether it's the Tibetan Mastiff, the Caucasian, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of dogs that I don't look through over the years. I've never seen anything in the whole dog world that's like the exotic. I've never seen a dog that literally is having issues standing. I've never seen a breed that the breeders aren't smart enough to understand that they're breeding Down syndrome, and they're actually compounding the Down syndrome gene to a point of no return. Dwarfism. They're actually breeding a dwarfism gene to the point of no return. This is why the characteristics that most people identify with an exotic are actually serious medical issues. Y'all ain't never wondered why those dogs can't control their tongue. A lot of them, their tongue is falling out the side of their mouth. Now, y'all, I'm putting this on. I'm putting the soft gloves on. But those dogs are not all there mentally. That's why they can't control their tongue. That's why you see some of them and they had that big-eyed glare off into space. They're not mentally there. You're breeding in some issues that have these dogs in a very, very bad place mentally. A very, very bad place. Structurally, you have them in a worse place. This is why we don't see a lot of 5, 6, 7-year-old exotics. This is why we see more banners with exotics with wings than we do the exotics going off to the nursing home to live long lives and lay on pillows. This is all medical stuff. I act silly and I get stupid and stuff, but I keep telling y'all, I went for 5.5 years. I literally can go back to college for a year and be a veterinarian. It might take me a year and a half. I had to look at my electives, but I know structure. I know medicine. I know what these dogs are supposed to be. I know what an animal is supposed to be. I did get that much in my schooling. And what the exotic is something that probably should be erased or redone totally. Because nowhere in any kind of breeding system anywhere do you breed in Down syndrome genes and dwarfism genes and you actually are able to breed out of it. It just doesn't happen. The reason when they made the liger, which is a combination of the tiger and the lion, why it didn't take off is because they're sterile, they can't breed, and a lot of them have Down syndrome. That's why when you see the pictures of the liger, a lot of times the liger has his tongue hanging out of his mouth. His brain function is not where it's supposed to be. So his tongue is hanging out of his mouth, and he's terrible. I've seen a few. I liked a couple of June Williams dogs. I think China Boy is an exotic, and he has from what I've seen, he has a lot of solid structure. Now maybe if I seen some other video, I changed my mind. My boy Danny up there in Rhode Island, Hall of Fame Rhode Island, he's got a few of them, man. He's got dogs that in the heat, they out there running around. In the cold, they surviving. He don't have to put them in the house. They're survivors, and they're very compact, big bone, big heads, the whole nine, short and all of that, and they're good dogs. But my biggest problem is a lot of times when we see these dogs that are very, very well put together, they're not, you know what I mean? They're not the ones that are being pushed. What's going on, Peter? They're not being pushed. I've seen exotics that you look at, you're like, hey, that's a cool dog. I've seen people doing the miniature American bullies for a while there, and they had good conformation. It's no big difference than what's being done with the shorty bull. The problem is for the exotics is that you're not pushing the healthy dogs. Those are not the dogs that are being favored in the exotic community. The dogs that are being favored in the exotic community are the ones that is one hot day away from death. You know, that's why I'm not the only one that says that. Everybody says it. You know, it's literally, if you think I'm the one who's stereotyping them, just start Googling. Start Googling and see what the world thinks about the exotic. Think about what see what professionals think. They literally had a seminar where they used the exotic and they used some examples of the American bully as a reason to not, is to change laws. What's going on, Adam? I got to get with you, dog. I'm back online. Catching up. Well, I don't know. We might have some good news. But I'll let you know about it. Yeah, I'll tell you why I've been MIA a little bit. She was back there crying not too long ago. But you know, it's some good dogs. But you know, I think in every situation, I think the exotic is further off. But the American bully has the same situation, that the American bully needs to change. The exotic needs to change. We have to remember that we're not really judged off of what we do just in our community. We judged on a world scale. And you don't go to other breed shows and see the kind of activity that we see in the dog world. You just don't. You know? You just don't. It's sad to say the least. But the American bulldogs with cropped ears, and the bad part is I've seen some great bulldogs. You know what I mean? I've seen some great bulldogs. We don't use the great bulldogs. What's going on, Nate, dog? I told you I was gonna try to get back on live now that I got some signals down here. It's a bright sunny day too, so I probably really got a signal. Yeah, for those who don't know, who haven't heard me, most of the time I used to do this type of stuff and get on the phone and everything when I go to the gym, because we stay in the middle of nowhere, and for some reason, connection is not our friend. We never see more than one bar. But man, you know, all of our communities have to, it's changes have to come, man. It's just changes have to come. We have to be accountable before we want somebody else. A lot of people always talk about, well, I wonder if the AKC would ever accept the American bully. I'm just being honest with y'all. The American bully is not a breed. The American bully is not a breed because it has nothing to qualify as a breed. You know, It's a community that lied to itself. We all lied to ourselves early. If we would have did what we were supposed to back in 13, 14 and carried it all the way through. I mean, not 13, 14, 04, 05 and carried it all the way through, we would be in good shape. But as of right now, you can't even tell me what an American bully is. I have a good idea because, being there from the start, what it's supposed to be. But right now, if you look at the dogs that, that are being pushed and promoted and different things, it's so many questions that this could never be a breed. It's just that simple. This is a very, very sad situation because you have multiple looks. You have a lot of flaws that are being allowed to be attributed to Grand Championship dogs. Even if you do a Wikipedia of what show dogs mean, show dogs are supposed to be the finest of the finest because that's how you decide what to breed to make your breed better. And when you have a situation of a breed that are taking show dogs and making those the train wreck dogs, you're allowing in kink tails, bad bites, high rears, bad this, bad that, and you're allowing that in, then you're basically promoting that to be bred into the dogs. I mean, look at what happened with Dax. I know a lot of people get mad when I talk about it, but look at it. You go back to 08, 09 when Dax started to emerge, and back then we didn't have a bad issue with high rears. We didn't have a bad issue at all with high rears. And then you turn around and you come back now, and over half of the dogs have high rears. That has something to do with the fact that you had the most popular stud in the breed had a high rear, a bad rear end, and it produced over 3,500 puppies. Those 3,500 puppies went on to produce more puppies, and now it's all through the bully community, and the good breeders who have it are trying to work with it and get it out of there, and some of them are compounding it and making worse dogs. If you don't respect the show ring and we start really enforcing structure issues, we're going to keep on breeding more and more structure issues. So we have to do better as a community. So many people are worried about the wrong thing and keep on falling for the lies and the nonsense. I'm just going to tell y'all before I hop off here, don't fall for that bullshit. Don't fall for Dave Wilson's lying ass and all his bullshit that he always pulls, talking about the judge can have preference. The judge can, your judge, I judge a certain way. Skip Miller judges a certain way. Many judges are going to judge a certain way, but that way always has to fit within the standard. You can't just say, oh, I like them more extreme, so I don't care that dog has a high rear. A high rear is a major flaw, and if it's a seriously high rear, it's technically a disqualification. Any extreme flaw is a disqualification, just like you're not supposed to be able to walk into the ring with a dog with no tail. If the judge deems it to be extreme, that is totally out of the characteristic of what the breed is supposed to be, it's out of there. How many grand champions do y'all see with extremely high rears, or extremely bowed elbows, or extremely bad feet, or extremely wrinkled faces? Exactly, Chewy. You almost got an expertise in it. People actually liked the high rear and went for the high rear. People actually, I just couldn't get it, And the one thing why I always stick on the high rear is the high rear typically brings 3 flaws in one. Because most dogs that have a high rear can't have good rear angulation, and they have to have a bad top line because the rear end is elevated. It's Oh, Rashawn Coles, I'm glad you asked that before I jumped off of here, man. And we're going to start doing this TBKC thing in the morning. You know what I mean? We're going to start getting at it, and we're gonna start doing our shows here and over on the TBKC Jamaica page. We're gonna do our things, man. And I wish that a lot of y'all, especially serious, what's going on, Carl? I wish that a lot of y'all who are serious dog people would go to the Jamaica page and start making your presence known, because a lot of people in Jamaica are looking for quality. And we're trying to redo some things over there. Their registrations over there are going to be, from us, are going to be free for a whole year as we throw shows and we really push the right thing, because their community has been poisoned like ours have. And we're going to throw we're going to have a lot of shows here that are going to be free and everything. What does the TBKC stand for? Originally, the TBKC stood for True Bully Kennel Club. We've since went in a different direction. It's still TBKC, but we're taking the bully out and putting the breed in. It's it's something that needs to be done. You know, so basically the reason is we're trying to appeal to more than just the American bully. We think our growth will start. Our growth will start a lot better when we incorporate other breeds in, you know. When we incorporate other breeds in and the bully community can start standing their dogs next to the boxers. I'm talking about nice show boxers, nice show Rotties and Dobermans and American Bulldogs and, you know, nice dogs, you know. And a lot of these dogs are protection and somebody had just asked a question about protection. We have a lot of, we even have now on, when the site goes up, you'll see it and you're like, what the hell? We do have even the standard poodle is on there now, the giant schnauzer, the black Russian terrier. We put all these dogs in there because a lot of these dogs compete in protection work. In the American bully breed, typically the ones that do well in the protection stuff are the XLs. They're bigger, they're rangier, and to be honest with you, this is a conversation for another day, and maybe we'll pick that up on Monday. But and I'm gonna start doing a time so we can all get here and we can put the numbers up like we used to, 300-400 people on at the same time. But the XL is actually a lot of Mastiff. You've seen the Doge Bordeaux, the American Bulldog, the what's the other dog? Bull Mastiff. A lot of those dogs were used in the XLs a lot of times. And what it is that those dogs, to bring the size that they wanted to the XLs, even Neapolitan Mastiffs were used in the XLs at times. And the English Mastiff, the biggest Mastiff. That's why you get, hey, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right, Liz. But if I mess it up, excuse me if it's less. But welcome on. But the XL has a lot of those bigger Mastiffs. Mastiffs do protection work. Mastiffs are good at protection work. The Rottweiler has been incorporated into the XL, and that's how we get the a lot of tries. They don't want to tell y'all that, but it's true, you know. But those dogs still carry it. If you ask people who have XLs, the XLs typically have more drive. The standards typically have more drive. And it's generally when you get to the pockets that you start to lose some of that drive. So I think in our community, you're going to see, I look forward as we want to get some protection stuff going for the October shows. Jersey, Florida, and Texas, and you know, we just got to get with the right people. I got the people for Jersey and weight pool and all that. We want to do a lot more, but we're going to be a strong protection and activity registry overall. XLs, I think will do well. I think the standards have a chance to do well. I'm going to be interested in seeing who's got pockets that have enough drive. You know, Joseph, don't do it to them. They're going to be on you next. But yeah, I think the bigger dogs will have the drive. Most of the time, I notice the smaller dogs are a lot more chill. So, you know, we'll see. But I look forward. I think people should try to get their dogs out and do protection work. We'll have the obedience thing, which is not protection, but it's just to show that these dogs can listen. And it's a good visual thing to put out there. As I said, we're going to have a lot of videos on the website now. I would love to see more videos, and trust me, y'all better do it because these damn cameras were not cheap. But I would love to see more people doing obedience work, protection work, so that we can put out to the rest of the world that our dogs are a lot the same like everybody else's dogs, and that they have a purpose and they're not just some angry dog that's in a cage that's getting abused and sold for high dollars. We have to put a visual out there. Visuals work, man. Yeah. I've been went away from the went away from the ABKC, man. ABKC ain't really, you know, they ain't talking about nothing. They sold our community out. I'm just being real. George, I know you ready. But you know, the sad part is people who don't have bullies that have drive, because if you go back to the real, man, this is Versace, Brian. This is Versace. This is the official headgear of the American Bully. As long as we keep on pushing unhealthy dogs, this is what we gonna wear. But you know what George was saying. You know, His dogs got to drive. A lot of the dogs that's got that good original blood and that are true American bullies, you can almost see it in their faces. Like if you go to George Chavez's page, you look at his dogs, they look like real American bullies. The original dogs all had drive. You can add the size and still keep the drive on them. I'm going to name them off to y'all. Remy's dad, Blue of Ruckus, one of the meanest dogs of all time. Monster J, one of the meanest, just drive for days. Gotti was not a friendly dog. Cairo was damn vicious. King Lion, extremely vicious. I mean, you had these dogs that would get after it. They had a ton of drive. I mean, you know, these dogs, like at the old shows, we used to have to keep, you know, a little bit of a distance. And it's not something, you know, we wanted to work on bringing down, you know, making them more social. But if you have an American bully and it's sort of cowardly and it doesn't have any drive, it's something wrong with that. I'm just being real with you. American Bully is it's not supposed to be just a dog like those dogs, but it's supposed to have some drive. We're not supposed to see videos where, you know what I mean, damn squirrels is running across your dog's nose and he don't even make a move, you know. My dogs are still out here killing everything that come through the yard. They killed a couple birds yesterday, or a couple of days ago. I felt bad about it. But bird had little birds. It was a mess. But the dogs are supposed to have some drive, man. You know, we turn these dogs into nothing, you know, and it's sad. And that's why I'm going harder now. That's why we investing harder. That's why I got some good people that's working with me now. And I promise y'all going to get the shows. We had, as y'all seen, we had the shows scheduled and Corona said y'all going to take a time out. So we took it, but we'll be back. But it's about pushing the breed in a different way. You know, one of the reasons that I really, you know, I tried to have my changes with the ABKC and all that stuff, but they don't push the dogs in the right way. They pushing deformities. They pushing sell this, sell that, sell this, sell that. He said, bye-bye, birdie. You know, and the truth of the matter is this is supposed to be the linebacker, the defensive end of the dog world. Very muscular, you know, drop dead gorgeous, you know, can be a family member, but at the same time can put in some work. It's a versatile dog, you know what I mean? And we're not moving that. They've turned this into a slow, docile, scary type of breed, and that's not what the American Bully is supposed to be about. I see too many dogs in the ring that are hanging their heads, and they don't, you know what I mean? That's one of the things that I love about Mufasa when I see him hit the ring, is that when Mufasa hit the ring, man, he looked like you know, every other dog in the ring just don't matter. Like, you see dogs cur down because of his confidence. His head is up. You know, he like, what's good? You know, that's the type of American Bully that's supposed to be out there. Several people have them. The Bear is a very confident dog. I hate to see those dogs that have to be drug around the ring. Their nerves is bad. They getting in the ring and they shitting in the ring. They pissing on themselves. All that. That is just a terrible, terrible look, man. It's terrible. It's terrible. You know, that's why you know, I love when cats do the videos and stuff like that, and you can see they dogs. Like, I mean, like George Chavez just spoke on there, and y'all check his page out, 'cause he got some nice ass dogs. Shout out to my boy Bobo too. He putting up some badass puppies over there, man. You know, I you know what, those are good dudes, and you know, Bobo a good friend of mine. But the thing of it is that I love what they doing for the American Bully community, because they keeping hope alive. You know. I've been stagnant on breedings for a while. Now I'm back. But you got a couple fat bitches out here now. But but you know, the thing of it is like, man, you know, it's very few breeders who's still doing it the right way. And if you notice, the people who are doing it the right way really aren't in the show ring, because the show ring is like garbage. You know, they're not pushing what we're supposed to be pushing. You seeing dogs that are screwed up that can't really, you know, that's winning, and the good dogs can't win. You know, it's got to be, you know, we gotta bring dogs in there that's gonna be able to compete, and that's why I think the open class is gonna be such a big deal. Is because it's gonna be nice to see an American Bully have to go head to head with a standard poodle or a Doberman, or, you know, some of these dogs that are known for conformation, because the only way you can ever get better is to raise the bar. You know, you don't want to compete against low level all your life. You want to compete against dogs that are established, you know, handlers that are established, and people who will make you elevate your game. So if we start elevating our game to beat them, we'll get better as a breed. Right now, competing against ourselves is just terrible, because the judges is crooked. The dogs got crooked legs. It's just it's a crooked ass situation, I guess, you know. And we have to do. That damn Julie on here. You caught me at the end. I was acting up earlier. You know what I mean? She one of the only people who can act up with me. Sometimes she go too far though. There's no such place. But you know, it's all about breeding good dogs and taking pride. And y'all check out Julie Ramirez too. I'm giving shout outs to my people that I know got beautiful dogs, man, and staying true to the American bully. You know, y'all find out that her and a certain somebody are the same. But they got beautiful dogs over there, man. And you know, we have to really, really do what we do. You know what, Anthony? I never show my dogs, man. I put the pictures up of them, but I never show them, man. I don't know why. They really, well, I really don't have them out to show them. That's the thing, you know. I put Mandela and Denzel on film sometime or whatever, but I get it. I show y'all a couple of things, you know, coming up real soon. You know, I don't know. You don't know my backstory, but I'll be scared, man. I don't know. I think I got traumatized when they killed my dogs, man. You know, they went to my boy's house and poisoned my dogs. Ever since then, I never really do shots of my yard or none of that. Oh, 100, Julie, we all got to stick together if we're going to push this thing the right way. You know, the people who trying to do it right, you know. Yeah, I have, you know, if you go to Hall of Fame Bullies, I got a lot of dogs on there. I haven't been posting on there. True American Bully on Instagram. I'm going to have to get back on there because I've been sort of blowing in the wind. But, yeah, I got, you know, I do got some dogs. What are you doing? Got one that sounds like he coughed a damn hairball up or something. But, you know, yeah, man, I'm scared of showing my dogs. I rarely ever have people to my house, and I don't be meaning to be rude sometimes. It's just, man, after that was De Niro. Well, they killed De Niro, but it was 5 other dogs that died that day. It was a very, very bad day. It was a very bad day, and that's been over 10 years ago, and I ain't even, man, shit, I ain't recouped. You know, we really, around here, we really love our dogs as bad as they is, but, you know, man, you know, yeah, people crazy, man. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I keep saying before I get off here, but I know a lot of y'all, you know what I mean? My dogs look terrible when they was in New Orleans. Yeah, honestly. Yeah, a lot of the dogs look terrible. That's when I think I forget what was going on at the house, but I brought them out anyway because I feel like, you know, everybody's dogs have a situation or two. But my dogs didn't look nearly well like they look now. You know, I've taken them to other shows, had Mandela in Jersey and a couple other places. Yeah, we got some shirts. I ain't been advertising. We actually about to print up a bunch of new shirts. We got some cool ass little new designs. This Rona sort of tore our asses up in a way because we had money scattered into some of these shows and stuff that we had to take L's on. You know, you sort of expecting things to come back and they don't. But, you know, all we really are trying to push as far as the American Bully is just the true American Bully. Good structure. I don't think it's too much to ask for good structure and a healthy dog. That's not too much to ask. We have a standard. We know what the dog is supposed to look like. Good structure and a healthy dog. I mean, we being honest, no, your dog won't win with a kink tail. That doesn't mean you have to kill your dog. But we don't feel like that people who are bringing in dogs with good tails, good fronts, nice rears should lose to dogs with no tail, you know, or high rears. It's just that's asinine. I would rather have a dog that's a complete 8 across the board than a dog that's got a couple 10s and a couple, you know what I'm saying, a couple 5s. You do the averages, and that's, you know, that's a 7.5 at best, and that don't beat 8s. And we have to do it that way, you know, because I compare us to every other dog community, you know. And the one thing that you'll see in other dog communities, you don't go to a German Shepherd show and see a German Shepherd come in there with a kink tail and win grand champion. You know, you don't. Now they do got a problem with them damn slanted down rears, which we will be addressing that shit. But, you know, that's just like, you know, any other breed that you talk about. They don't take extreme flaws. You won't go and see a Doberman with a seriously high rear end win a show. You know, I mean, you name it, it won't happen in those other breeds. And until we get to that level that our best dogs are winning, our community won't get better. And that's the main thing, you know. Our community won't get better, you know. I'm going to step my game up. a lot. You know, I can't show, but I'm going to judge a lot this year, and through 2021. We have some good judges, some experienced judges. Skip Miller is going to play a big part in what we're doing. We're bringing in sometimes y'all will be judging under people who don't judge the American Bully typically, but they judge the other breeds because we do have that open class where the other breeds will be coming in. And if y'all wondering how the open class works, and I know I'm jumping around, what happens in the open class, it's a promotion to get all of the breeds in. So, you know, like the Bordeaux, we have a few people who are interested in the Bordeaux. We have some Rottweiler people. We have quite a few Rottweiler people in the American Bully community. We have some Doberman people. We have, you know, a lot of Bulldog people, but, you know, we throw Bulldog shows, but the Lappaha is one of the Bulldogs that doesn't always get in and stuff, you know, stuff like that, and the Tibetan Mastiffs. Well, how this situation will work is that in the open class, all of those dogs come in, and they still come in age groups. But, you know, you'll have all of these breeds, and it's almost like a best in show for 6 to 9 months, 9 to 12 months, you know, and they'll be judged strictly against their standard. And some people are like, well, how does that work? The truth of the matter is that you should always be judging against your standard. You know, so it doesn't matter. If a judge is good, he knows that the poodle fits his standard better than the Doberman. So the poodle will win that class, or he fits better than everybody else's. This is the way true dog showing has always been judged anyway. Now, the winners of those classes, the open classes, advance to go against the bullies and the other ones that are having their own show that day. And what it does is it just raises the level of competition. They still get a chance to show. They don't have to wait for 10 Dobermans to show up if it's only 3 that day. They can still enter and go against everybody, and it's a fair chance for everybody who has a dog that accepts the registry, that's accepted in this registry, to compete at all times. And we figure eventually this will keep on growing. We had a lot of people who stayed home or kept their dogs home just because they couldn't show. Now we're opening the door, and we'll probably do it the first one on our show there in September. But we're opening the door for all of the breeds in the registry to come and show, even if it's not your day and the show host is not having, say, an English Bulldog class that day. You can still bring your English to compete in the open class. It doesn't eliminate because you don't have a Shorty Bull class that day or whatever. The open class allows everybody to come in by age group, and then we'll all meet at the end. And it's a good feeling, and the vibes that I'm getting is that this class will end up being huge because it allows, you know, now damn near 30 breeds a chance to come in there and represent, and it opens us up to a lot of new people and a lot of new experiences. And the only way that the American Bully breed can grow is if we do open doors to other people who know dogs, other information, more professional people, more people who are going to add in a positive way to our community, and not just get stuck in this small little ghetto circle that we've created of people who just don't give a damn about the breeds. We're trying to raise the level in which we compete. Some of the people that I've given shout outs to today, if you go look at their dogs, check out Julie Ramirez, check out George, you know what I mean? Check out Bobo, check them out. Check out their pages because they're very active. They do a lot of pictures of their dogs. And the one thing you'll see is that they have dogs that can compete in any show. They have great conformation. They fit the standard. So these dogs can compete against any dog. If I pull out, a great Rottweiler, George's dogs, Julie's dogs, they can compete against that Rottweiler. Bobo's dogs can compete against that Rottweiler. A lot of Oscar Gomez's dogs that he putting out can compete against everybody. Definitely the bear can compete against these dogs. And yes, it does eliminate a lot of other dogs. But at this point in time, we know that our breed is not a complete breed. Some things need to be eliminated. Another one of my good friends just popped up, Brian Robertson. He kept me on the phone to the wee hours of the night the other night. We get to talking dogs and totally forget the time. It was 3 o'clock in the morning his time. But he has dogs that can compete. I talk to Brian a lot, and he's a true showman. He loves the show. And Brian will tell me, Brian looks forward to the opportunity to take his bulls and go head-to-head against, against a Doberman or a Rottie. Brian takes pride, and that's what we want our community to be. The people who are truly trying to show dogs, we want that bar elevated, that we're not running from shit. I'm still an American Bully guy. I have no choice but to be. You know, I love my bullies. I'm not competing, but I would love to see those who have very, very nice bullies go in there and compete head to head against all of these other more established breeds. Because the only way that we can ever consider ourselves a breed is we are organized, we identify what our breed truly is and give it a face, and we take those dogs, put them in the ring against the best of the other breeds and kick their asses. This is true competition. You know, this is true. Oh, much love, George and Julie. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. You know, I got to give credit to, you know, to those who do, you know, and give whatever to those who don't. But you know, we in it. What's going on, Mark? You hiding them puppies, man. You need to put up some pictures. Yeah. But, you know, the thing of it is, man, some of us still take pride in what we do. You know what I mean? And this thing is probably slow. It always pops up messages way late. What's going on, Brian? But, you know, some of us really care about trying to win. I think it's more impressive for anybody in our community to go and beat the big dogs. You know, the boxers of the world and, you know, the German shepherds of the world and these dogs that have been around for, you know, over a century, sometimes 2 centuries. It's nice for us to go in the ring against the very, very distinguished giant schnauzer and you beat that giant schnauzer in a stack off, as they say, but we ain't really stacking off. But you beat that dog, you know, in the ring. You know, you beat a black Russian terrier in the ring. That's real shit. That's how the American bully, when that goes all over the internet, man, that's winning. What do I got on my head? This is my Dax cap. Every time people try to tell me that Dax was a great all-around dog, this is what I do to him, Brian. Hey, holla at you later, Julie. I'm gonna post some nonsense later if we can get our laughs on. Oh, you doing a dog shoot? See, I gotta get with Julie. She be doing her thing. Hey, God bless y'all, man. Y'all have a good one. But you know, I'm supposed to be working out, so I guess I probably should be jumping off too. But but the truth of the matter is we have to elevate. No matter which way we say it, as a community, we can't keep making excuses. We can't keep on talking about judges and their opinions and the breed is evolving and all that. No, a breed doesn't evolve. That's dumb talk. A breed should not be evolved. It might evolve over 50 years, but it's not going to change from year to year. We have to stick to our standards and make greatness. If we do that and we make some greatness, we're going to be all right. You know, we can get Ukanuba back on board. We can have Victor sponsoring shows. We can get the big companies to come in. And y'all say, why do I keep talking about these big companies? The big companies project breeds to the world. They have their own sites. They have their own commercials. They have, you know, they have the ability to make the American Bully product known worldwide. That's why I focus some on them to shine a light on there. But also when I'm inviting these companies and we working hard to have relationships with these companies, I don't want no screwed up dogs to be on those damn videos. I don't want them to be turned off like Ukanuba was turned off before and leave the breed, you know. In order to bring them back, we have to show them good quality bulls. And more importantly, I think we have to show them good quality people. You know, hopefully we can do that, man. But I done talked y'all ears off. I'm going to post some times on this page and I tag everybody in it or whatever. But we're going to start doing like a morning live type thing to stay up on each other. Hopefully as this virus subsides, and hopefully it does subside soon. Y'all make sure y'all staying safe, by the way. Don't listen to these conspiracy theories that the virus is not real. People are dying. I don't understand why everybody don't want to believe it's real. You know what I mean? It's the flu. I don't want the flu either. So, you know, y'all stay safe. But, you know, we're going to get on here and we're going to talk about a little bit of every topics and everything. I already got the radio show pretty much ready, set to go back up. So we'll jump in on that. But, you know, y'all give us feedback and y'all let us know. You let us know about your areas. I thank y'all who sent me information on venues in your area, and we just gonna work our asses off to build a nice community, man. I look forward to getting out and really meeting a lot of y'all, doing the meet and greets and having a good time. Basically, I know every city that I'm gonna hit, I'm gonna try to get in there either early Friday or late Thursday night. So Friday night we can meet at a restaurant or whatever, chop it up about dogs. We can start putting some faces with the screen names and just build a community, man. There's a lot of good people still in this community that, oh, much love, Reno. You always know. That's my brother there. You know, Reno brought me a bottle of good stuff one day and tried to get me in trouble. I would blame my baby on him, but that was before that. I mean, that was after the fact. So, hey, this is the Rona cap. They said this is the Rona cap. Hey, Brian, I got to send you one of these. This is the Rona 5000. You ain't catching nothing with this on. You ain't catching nothing. I'm thinking I might go to Walmart with this on. Yes, Rashawn Coles. Let me take this damn thing off my eye. But ooh wee. I don't want to lie to you. I'm sure our Halloween show in Jersey is going to be October the 25th. As long as Jersey opens up with no problems, we will be there. That Halloween show will be fun. Everybody's should be in costumes. I know everybody's not gonna be in costume, but we're gonna have a fun costume show. We're gonna have a lot of things going on at that show. We're gonna try to have a lot of fun because that'll probably be our last show at that venue for the year. It was supposed to be 8 shows, but because of this thing, we had to keep canceling. So we're probably going to look for another venue in the Jersey, Philly area that's an indoor facility to either do November or we'll skip all the way over to late January or February. I don't do shows in late November, basically the holiday seasons. Those shows don't go over too well, but we'll be there heavy. And basically the way our shows go is when you start to see our shows, you'll see us come back to the same venue over and over again. And most of the times, our shows will already have preset dates on the first show. So if you come to a show, just throwing out a hypothetical, August 1st, you'll probably see a flyer that's going to tell you we will be back there, you know what I'm saying, in September, 15th. And we'll be back there, you know what I mean, October 20th, whatever. However it goes, we're gonna set it all up, man. We're gonna go set it up, man. And they said they're gonna admit me if I go to Wally World with this on. But this was a big effort. I'm starting to get happy and excited about it. My dude right there, Nathan Christensen, helped me out a ton with things. I got a few great people who really just spared their time to help me out with a lot of things as far as how this advertising is going to go, infrastructure. I don't know shit about podcasts, but now we got a podcast coming up. So, it's going to be a busy time, but it's going to be a good time for good dog people. I'm going to tell y'all that. It's going to be a good time for good dog people. We're going to have a lot of fun, man. I am that old man from Up. Y'all don't be surprised if y'all see me landing my little spaceship with some balloons at one of these shows. Well, hey, man, you know what? Y'all know I always end these videos on the same note, so y'all stick with me, man. This is different, though. But people go through things all the time, man. Let's not be judgmental. People go through shit. Right now, a lot of people is losing their jobs. A lot of people are stressing about different things. Man, spread some love. You know what I mean? It's not that hard for those of us who are blessed. If you have something to spare, if you can pay for somebody's meal, just being nice, be nice, man. Spread some love because you never know the small things that you could do for a stranger or your family. Call your grandma, call your family, let them know you love them, because everybody don't go out and tell you that they stressing. Everybody don't go out and tell you that they hurting. A lot of people do it alone, but your kind words or your kind deed could go a long way to making somebody feel better about life. It's too much negativity going around and beating each other down, man. We got to show some love. We got to get together and embrace each other as a people. If we don't do that, our demise is coming a lot faster than it probably should have. And my flap won't stay up. But hey, until next time, I will give y'all the dates on when we're going to do our live on Monday. Monday will be on the TBKC page. And Tuesday, we're going to be in Jamaica. I'll talk to y'all then. Much love, man. Peace.